Hello everybody. Today I want to continue the biography of great master Marpa. As we previously heard that Marpa was a great translator and a teacher, master. He had mainly four disciples, and all these four disciples carried his legacy and his teachings, initiations, transmissions further, and spread it into Tibet and to Himalayan regions. So we call his personal lineage, or we call it Marpa Kargyud, and it's kind of special Kargyud lineage. And as I told you previously, his three disciples carried his let's say text-based teachings, initiations, and so Vajrayana texts, actually Vajrayana texts. So he gave to Ngoktun Sherab, one of his disciples, the teachings of Kedur and Mahamaya and Denshi, these texts and initiations given to Ngoktun. So these all names are in Tibetan, Kedur and Mahamaya, Denshi. These are all Tantrayana texts still existing, and still practiced by Kargyud lineage holders, monks and nuns. And you see, his second disciple was Metun Chenpo. So Metun Chenpo he gave Demchok Chakrasambhava and Geba Dorje, Gedur, and Sang, Samadhyuba, Guhaya Samaja. So and also Mahamaya, the root text, and the explanation on Maya. So all these four collections of Chandrayana teachings, he gave it to the second disciple, Metun Chenpo. The third one is called Töngi Surdun Wange. Surdun Wange was his third main disciple, and to him he gave teachings like Guhaya Samaja and Luksum, Tsaju. Tsaju is like root text of the Luksum, and Kedur, or let's say the cultivate in the practice of Vajrayana. There are mainly two forms of developing the inner realization when it comes to sadhana or practice or ritual or something like that. So the so-called developing stages or completing stages. So these two are the main stages in Vajrayana practices, regarding deity practice and so on. So he gave bit instructions on these two developing and completing stages of deity practice, so on, to the third Surtun Wangen, and also I said Gebadorje, Gedor, Gebadorje, and so on. He gave complete, all his teachings to these three. And also the greatest from the disciple was the fourth. The fourth was Milarepa, Milarepa, who really, kept his yogic tradition and, gave it father. So to Milarepa, Marpa also gave Gebadorje, and teachings like Gebadorje, Denshi, Mahamaya, practices and initiations, transmissions, everything, and of course 6 yogas of Naropa and Mahamudra, so on. So he's really beloved, or let's say the most venerated disciple was Milarepa, Milarepa, who was the main student of Marpa himself. So you have to understand here this, there are four, disciples. So 3 of them carried his all, text, and let's say I just say, text-based practices and teachings, and Milarepa took his practical part of the teachings of Kargyud lineage. So you see these two kind of differentiation you have to understood, so yeah, it's quite difficult for you maybe, but it's not so difficult, to understand these things. When you start learning, you can understand it quite easily. So all these practices till now, practiced by Kargyud lamas and monks, nuns. Now we really go to the biography of Milarepa. So Milarepa was born in a middle class family, and his father was businessman, merchant. He died early, and his family suffered a lot, and he learned black magic. He killed many people in order to revenge, something like that. And then he was really how to say, sad what he done, the karmas, bad karmas, he was really regretted about his past actions or bad actions, killing and all these things, doing black magic. He then got the instruction from one of the magician teacher that he should go to, now he should go to practice sincerely in order to purify his bad karmas. And finally he met Marpa, the greatest teacher for him, and he was really curious and inspired and blessed. But Marpa didn't give teaching, he just let him work, and he scolded him, and he beaten up him. So he was like in general eyes, he was torturing him, and finally he let him build alone 9 stories of building, a single person, At that time, almost Milarepa, his back part of the bone, and how to say, flesh, it's torn out, and inner, parts like organs were transparent, so he was quite wounded. He was wounded, so very, very, hard and difficult task he gone through. Somehow, by the blessing of Mapa, he recovered, and then for the first time, Mapa gave him teachings, initiations, transmissions, all, whatever he knew, Mapa knew, and Mapa gave all the teachings to him. So he was very blessed, and Mapa let him go to meditate on the snow mountains, barren mountains and rocky mountains. Mapa told him that now you should practice it. Without practice, no result. So Mapa went to different peaks of the mountains, like Mount Kailash, and Mount Kailash. So worldly people don't know, or that nowadays don't know. The Milarepa was the first, person in our planet who climbed the highest, let's say one of the highest mountain, Mount Kailash. He climbed, he was on the top of the Mount Kailash. And then he went to other, mountains like Lapchi, where Nepal and Tibet border. There is a, mountain called Lapchi. There he, spent a lot of time meditating, and many other, mountains and caves, he meditated until he, realized the Mudra inside, or realization. He perfectioned the all teaching what he heard from his master. So he was enlightened, got enlightened. He can flew, he can trespass the rocky mountains or stones. He can be visible, he can be small as ant, and big as elephant. So he can do something miracle and so on. So these are just stories, and it was really in his biography. So he had many students, from all over the Tibet, and he was quite famous. And then he met Master Gampopa. So Gampopa was the main disciple, Milarepa was very, very pleased when he, for the first time met Gampopa. So he used to say, even I am yogi and wearing cotton shawl and drinking chang and beer or something like that. He was not actually ordained. Milarepa was, even I am not ordained and just no simple yogi. I had a great monk disciple. That means Gampopa himself. So quite interesting, right? It's quite interesting story, so from Milarepa, it split out into two main Kargyud lineages. One is Thakpo Kargyud. That means the lineage sprung out of Gampopa, and the Gampopa's also name was Thakpo, Thakpo Rinpoche or Gampopa, synonyms. These are synonyms. And then Gampopa was Milarepa's son-like disciple. He is like a son, in our planet. And then the second disciple was Rechungpa. Rechungpa was like yogi and mendicant. He's quite crazy, and let's say crazy. That means that was characterically not like a monk, he used to do many things which are sometimes against Milarepa. So from Rechungpa, his moon-like disciple. He's like a moon, and disciple Rechungpa, it comes then Rechung Kargyud, Rechung Nyingyu, or like, let's say, so these are two lineages for the first time now, splitting out in Tibet at that time, let's say end of 11th century and beginning of maybe 12th century, or let's say I'm wrong maybe. I just mentioned you these two great disciples of Gampopa, Milarepa, two disciples of Milarepa, Gampopa and Rechungpa. Okay, so I want to stop here for a moment, and I will continue the biography of Gampopa, Master Gampopa and Rechungpa in the next video. So thank you for watching, and enjoy my videos and explanations. Bye bye.